Your future wife is going to cheat on you, and it's unfortunate for me to say that. Not because she's evil, not because all women are bad, not because loyalty doesn't exist, but because you chose her with lust. And you've all heard the saying, love is blind, and that's definitely true, but lust is even more blind. Most men today, they don't choose their future, they choose what excites them now. They confuse chemistry with compatibility, they confuse intensity with alignment, then they confuse desire with destiny. And because of all this confusion, they end up ruining their lives. We've all met women before and thought to ourselves, she's absolutely beautiful. You're like, wow, you're entranced, you don't know what to say, you're struggling for words. And suddenly, of course, the energy is good, the vibe is good, the tension is there. But your standards, they start to soften. Things that you said that you'd never tolerate become not that deep. Things that you said that you'd criticize become, it's just a part of her personality, bro. And all of her red flags become, she's been through a lot, this is just the way she is. And I've seen it with my own friends, hence the frustration. I was speaking to one of my friends about the ideal woman that he'd want to date. He said disciplined, modest, family orientated, and whilst it's hard to find, it's certainly not impossible. He said that he wants a woman who doesn't live for attention. A couple of weeks later, he's talking to somebody, he's entertaining somebody who's out clubbing almost every single weekend, who posts for male validation. And of course, I confront him about this, and he doesn't give me a logical answer at all. He just tells me, she's different, bro. No, she's not. She's just attractive. And that's the difference. That will always be the difference. Lust doesn't make you stupid, it makes you selective for what you're willing to see. Now, I've always believed myself to be a logical thinker. I've always thought ahead. If I don't believe in the longevity of something, then more often times than not, I'm not going to pursue it. However, when you bring lust into the picture, you don't think like that. You don't ask the boring but important questions. How does she handle conflict? How does she handle boredom? How does she deal with her values under pressure? Would she make a good mother? Would she be a good daughter to your mother? These are the questions that you need to ask, especially if you're someone like me who moves with intention. Of course, these questions may vary from person to person depending on your standards. But when you lead with lust, you don't consider any of those standards, because right now is temporary and marriage isn't built on right now, it's built on becoming over time. If your relationship was dependent on physical desire, then what happens when that desire fluctuates? And it frustrates me how people, of course, don't see the problem in this early on and only figure out later. Eventually, the stress will hit, the kids will come, the bodies will change, the energy will shift, and you're left with what? Absolutely nothing, because you were blinded by lust. You're blinded by your desires. Life got a whole lot heavier, my friend, and you weren't prepared to take the hit. If the core is lust, and lust dips, then resentment fills the gap, and then cheating becomes a higher possibility. And it's not because somebody woke up Satan or something like that, it's because the relationship was based on something that was never meant to carry that weight. If you chose her for how she makes you feel in private, and not her character, because eventually her character will matter, then your relationship might be doomed, my friend. Same way if you ignored her need for validation because it made you feel excited, for whatever reason, don't be surprised if she goes seeking out that validation elsewhere. Chaos willingly just because you found it thrilling, then don't be surprised if you never find peace. This applies to her, but it also applies to you. You can't build a lifetime off of a temporary high. You can't build a lifetime off of a temporary high. It's not a stable foundation at all. When you lead with lust, you start prioritizing impulses over discernment. You stop thinking like a builder and start thinking like a consumer. And of course, consumers, they eventually get bored. So what happens when you choose her for her body, and then you see another body? If attraction was your foundation, then it will always become your exit. But guys, we all think the same thoughts, we all want the same things, and much like lust, it doesn't care about our future. It wants what it wants now, and it doesn't care how it gets it. Lust creates unstable men and unstable relationships because it's impatient. It doesn't care about 10 years from now. It doesn't care about your future, but your future kids will care. Your future self will care. Your future family will care. But lust doesn't show you the bigger picture at all. It zooms in so hard into the present that you forget there's a future you watching you right now. I thought back to a few times where I've really, really liked someone, and I thought to myself, back then, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? Why did I waste so much time? The realization hit, the regret hit. Now imagine if you spent all those years with someone in marriage and you realize that you've wasted your time with them. That clarity didn't appear randomly, it appeared when the lust faded. And of course, coming back to the marriage, when you are in this marriage scenario, things are going to be a lot more complicated. Now it's emotional, now it's legal, now it is a lot more complicated. And if you build a relationship on something so shallow, you're going to feel cracks eventually. This is why most relationships, they fail nowadays. They start off so intense and then end bitter, because you are both prioritizing your desire instead of your alignments. Chemistry is easy, alignment is rare. Chemistry will make you feel alive, alignment will keep you stable, and it's a shame that most people don't slow down and ask themselves the uncomfortable questions to figure out which one is which. And if you don't separate the two, you'll build a future on something that was only meant to be a spark. Your wife cheating won't be some random curse, or be a delayed consequence of what you already saw and knew to be true. You saw the validation addiction, you saw the attention seeking, you saw all of the red flags, but she was beautiful. So you were compromised. And every single compromise you make on your values now is a fracture later on. I'm not saying put a pause on attraction, because that's damn near impossible. I'm just saying don't let it drive. Slow down, observe, breathe. Watch how she is when things are boring, when she's stressed, when she's not getting the admiration she thinks she deserves, when she's told no, especially when she's told no. Because let's face it, marriage won't always be a honeymoon period. It won't. It's responsibility, it's routine, it's repetition. If somebody only thrives in excitement, then they're going to suffocate in stability. And listen guys, you have two heads at the end of the day. One will tell you that it will all work out. The other will tell you, based on what? I'm hoping that you guys will listen to logic. Attraction is important, but it cannot become the foundation of your relationship. I hope that you choose with clarity and not with chemistry, or else one day you'll realize and look back and think to yourself, I was blinded by lust, and blindness was expensive. I wasted time and I wasted money. So I really hope that is none of you. I hope that you take the knowledge from this video. I hope that you apply some of this value to your life, and I hope you, of course, accept this as a warning. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share it to a friend who you think may need to hear and see this message. And if you guys want to join a community full of like-minded people on the path of self-development, then I'll leave a link down below in the description, as well as the comment section. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care and God bless.